making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it.
Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you just plan to just come here and hang out or what.
Hold on, I'm kind of curious now. So the poem we wrote, is it just gonna mash up all those words together so it makes no sense, or is it actually gonna, like, do sentences?
It's gonna, yeah, it just doesn't.
I'm so, wait,
Yeah.
do we actually get to see what it's like?
Oh, you'll see.
I'm so excited, okay. Continue, sorry.
But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room.
Poker face, poker. Okay, sorry. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga.
Manga's literature.
Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat.
Don't worry, guys. Frederick Wampas always gives it his best as long as he's having fun.
I keep thinking about what you said now, like, pay attention to her dialogue, and I am, but she's always, like, she seems positive and just kind of whiny.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't seem dark and depressing, but I know that's gonna change, and I don't know how. I'm, like, stressing over this. Okay.
He helps me with He helps me with busy work, even without me asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room.
How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once.
Is that so?
You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous.
How come? You and Frederick Vampa can become good friends too.
Sayori. Thoughts. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into.
Oh. Yuri even brought you something today, you know?
Oh, wait, Sayori.
Me?
Not really.
Don't be shy.
It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do?
I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking.
I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation.
Are you okay? Why did that scare me? I don't know why that just made me jump. All Kevin did was drop a piece of popcorn, like it flung, and I saw my life flash before my eyes. Why?
It was a good popcorn.
Even the good die young.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so?
So wholesome.
It is. Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out a book that I thought you would like, I think it said. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it further if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book that she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. Dots. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out.
Oh, should we go for a girl?
What?
It's a dating sim, sort of. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I think we're going down her path right now, because like.
Wait, but how? It's like I didn't even choose any options.
The poem. It's like which girl likes a poem best.
But we didn't even get to read it.
Well, okay. Well, you'll get to read it later, but like.
Okay. I was actually gonna like in my head. I was like, wow, this is really kind of pushing us towards her instead. Yeah.
Because remember, she was jumping quite a bit at the words we chose.
Yeah, I think I really like Monica and Yuri.
Yeah, I don't think we can go for Monica, but I really like. I
like
can't remember her.
Natsuki and
yeah,
Yuri.
I like Natsuki too.
I like those two then. Yeah, we can play it by ear.
Yeah, sure. I think we're doing her path, so.
Is it only determined by that poem?
Not we get to do multiple poems later.
Okay, so that's how we can deter it to someone else.
You can sort of shape it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's fine. I was focused, and I probably wouldn't have noticed it in the first place. Oh, if I was focused. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. I keep accidentally double pressing. I'm so sorry.
No worries. I think you can, like, go back with this key. Right? Oh, whoops.
Nope.
Just kidding. Okay.
Whatever.
Never mind.
It's not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... That's not what I meant. I mean... I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. Are they really that oblivious? Is Frederick Von Pa really that oblivious? Like, well, obviously she bought it for you?
Maybe we're whatever country Frederick Von Pa is from, they are more upfront about things.
I feel like girl language is pretty kind of the same. So, for those people listening, if someone happens to buy you or give you something that they already have and they already have another copy, they bought it specifically for you. They don't accidentally buy 2 of the same thing and just be like, oh, what a coincidence, here you go. They had you in mind. Like, whether it's just like, oh, I accidentally bought 2 cookies, here, have one. Obviously, they had it in mind for you, trust me. I do that so often with this cute guy at work. I'm just like, oh, what a coincidence, here. And he's like, oh, are you sure? That's so nice. I'm like, oh yeah, well, they accidentally gave me one for free.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a case of anime main character logic.
Maybe. Okay. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well... Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. I was gonna say, we're gonna read it together. Mm-hmm. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. Oh, there's an ominous looking eye symbol on the front cover. Illuminati. All right. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, It's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost young sister. But as soon as she does, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escape from a human experiment prison.
It actually sounds like a cool book.
And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart.
I just have to ask, because I'm curious. I like making predictions about the game. You don't have to tell me.
Okay.
Depending on which girl you choose, do they each, like, do you happen to read the same book, and whatever that book's about is what happens to you in the game?
That's an interesting idea. I don't think that's exactly true. I don't know.
Okay.
You'll find out later.
We'll see. I'm so curious, because it seems so happy.
It's kind of dark, isn't it?
Honestly, like, that book sounds great to me, but I like dark,
I'd read it.
angsty things. Like, we've discussed this already.
Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere.
Aha! Which is what she mentioned earlier. Aha, paying attention.
Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Frederick Von Pa? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into these things.
She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just those kinds of stories. They challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals, or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything.
Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange.
Honestly, no, things like that. Like, I've had friends, like Alistair before, like, apologize. So, like, oh no, sorry, I'm rambling, like, too much about, like, physics or something like that. I'm like, no, go for it. Ramble your heart away. Like, it's so nice to see someone so passionate about something.
Yeah.
And it's so sad when they have to apologize for being passionate. It's like, yeah, I might not be able to follow along with a bunch of it, but you clearly are happy, and I want you to be happy.
Oh, that's so nice.
I love things like, well, I hate that, like, society makes them feel like they should shut up. Because, you know, someone in their past has been like, you talk about it too much or something. And it's like, no.
I feel like the majority of people really do like that, though. When you're really passionate about something and you're just kind of spurging on about it. Like,
yeah, I love that. I'm just like, yes, go on.
But some people are jerks.
Yeah.
And please stop me if I start talking too much.
I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. Damn.
Hey.
I am Frederick Von Pa.
The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to.
What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it.
Dots. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is reading in company with someone.
Oh?
It's a literature club.
Quote-unquote literature club.
Oh.
I'm so suspicious. I'm like, what is...
It's secretly a German dungeon porn club.
I'm calling it, yeah.
I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
With my good looks. So all the Von Paws do.
Yes.
Alright. Open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing.
I honestly hate that so much. Like when you're reading with someone.
Really? I was about to say the opposite.
Really?
Well, I mean, for me it depends, because it's like, I do kind of like having alone time where it's like, just sit, read, do whatever, but sometimes it's like, it's nice to have someone there sitting like silent in unison doing their own thing, because it's just kind of like appreciating like not the friendship where it's like you don't have to be talking all the time and you can just kind of sit there in comfortable silence.
That's fair.
I think it depends on the person though.
Yeah. I feel like, because I don't know, I feel like for me reading is kind of a solitary thing.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm just like naturally anxious around people, so it's like I feel like it kind of ruins the mood somehow. But I guess like with certain people,
I get what you mean though. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, because it normally is a solitary thing. People just read on their own. Like, I get that. Like, especially I feel like if you aren't super good friends with the person, because then it's like you have that anxiousness where it's like, should I say something? Do I need to be talking? And that's kind of like all on your mind. It's kind of weird just because you're like, there's someone here.
Yeah, or even like, I don't know. It depends.
I get what you're saying. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you?
Must be Canadian.
Really, though? I do? Dude, I relate to Yuri so much, like, damn! I apologize for everything. I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. To me, that's a little weird. Like, I hate, like, for me, it's like, I hate when people are like, oh, let's read this article on your laptop together. I'm like, well, no, because what if one of us reads really slow? What if one of us reads really fast? Like, there's an awkward, just like, are we good?
Wait, or
see, it's like, that I don't like, Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before.
Ooh.
You know, it's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I it's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. It's a little more than the corner, but okay. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I feel like the tension's really built. Are they gonna kiss? Like, this is like the second time they've met. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. That's what she said. Or vice versa. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange.
I'd be so uncomfortable in this situation.
I would too! It's like, if I have my own book, you have your own book, whatever. Yeah. But it's like I said, I hate it because you don't know how fast the person is, and it's like, no. At that point, I'm probably not even reading. I'm probably just panicking in my head. Anxiety. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. What was that look you gave me? Okay. You think so? I already have like 4 different theories in my head that are fucking okay.
Oh yeah?
How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. That's me as fuck. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Frederick von Pa, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. Dots. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden?
Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other.
Yes! I'm so excited!
we might not have enough time if we wait too long.
Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought.
Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this.
It's not... It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer if I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. Sure. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight.
Yeah.
Dumb bitch. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? Don't see how, but okay.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
black holes cannot be this dense.
Damn. That's good reasoning. Is it? In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. What is she, my teacher now? Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag.
By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? I forgot to read her lines.
It's okay. Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Also, the inspiration was us just being like, poof, haha, emo as fuck. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I double tapped it again. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Yes. Okay.
Well, who do you want to go for?
I'm kind of between Natsuki and Monica. Who do you want?
I don't know. I don't know. What about Natsuki?
Yeah. Natsuki.
Because I was thinking, since we were already doing Yuri so far.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I wasn't sure if it was one of those where we should pick up, but I also felt like it might be too much. So I was like, okay, let's see.
Yeah. Okay.
I told Natsuki I was interested in seeing her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first.
Oh, I thought we were just gonna go in a circle and read it. Goddamn. Dots. Question mark. Oh, sorry.
Well, it's about time. Oh, shit.
It's okay.
Well, it's... Fuck. Okay.
Take your time.
Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That was so weird. Okay.
That's a little blunt.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Damn.
It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotion.
Uh-huh. So, basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes?
Do you want to get smacked?
I'll pass.
Sigh. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it, Baka.
You can read it.
Should I do it in the voice?
Whichever you want. You can do her voice, a very poetic voice, a death metal voice, whichever you prefer.
Sorry. God. I totally forgot how to breathe there.
I like how I just sat here watching, like, eating a Tim Tam and watching you suffer. I'm so sorry, I didn't realize you couldn't breathe.
It's so good.
Okay, I love Tim Tams.
Right? Alright.
I just dropped that down my shirt.
Holy moly.
You okay?
Yeah. My light flashed before my eyes. Okay.
It's been happening a lot today.
Right. Okay. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try, but that's about it.
Damn.
That's like a Kurt Vonnegut poem, actually.
Is it?
From Cat's Cradle, yeah.
Ooh.
Or sounds like it. It's not the same. Yeah. I told you that you weren't going to like it.
I like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, because, everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously.
But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So, I decided to write about it. I don't... Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like when I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose.
I noticed that. She put a lot of thought into this.
Yeah. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
She ain't wrong. So you did.
I think there was an actual word for that technique that I learned
know.
in high school. I can't remember now. Okay, whatever.
I guess more went into it than I realized.
That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you?
Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Damn good person. Okay, who do you want?
Thinking Monica.
I'm thinking Monica too. Perfect.
Hi, Frederick Wampa. Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Alright, I'll keep that in mind.
Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to.
Haha. Don't worry, Frederick Wampa. We're all a little embarrassed today, but it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. A harmonica, my poem.
Wow, great job, Frederick Wampa. I was going ooh in my head while reading
I
it.
want to read it so bad.
You know, I don't think you actually get
Oh
it.
no!
Yeah. It's really metaphorical.
I really want to write a poem now with whatever we
Yeah.
chose.
Yeah, we should free write.
Dude,
not
yes.
free write. Yeah.
Just
We should
make
write
a
a
poem and be like, yes.
Our Immortal by Kevin and Igloo.
I embrace the life before me, a disoriented starscape of hopeless fantasy. Agonizing pain nibbles away my desire. It put out my soul's unyielding fire. Explode in entropy, disown my destiny.
Leaving me broken, incapable for eternity. In a universe full of hope and sorrow, a parfait built on time that's borrowed, a massacre that flooded the bay, I booped the face of God's dismay.
I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep.
Bitch.
I guess I underestimated you.
It's easier for me to keep everyone's expectations low.
Same.
That way, it always counts when I put in some effort.
That's so relatable.
That's not very fair.
I think it is.
Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively. Both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though.
I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet.
Oh, was that you before?
Oh.
Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things.
I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this.
That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. I mean, that's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you, right? Everyone else might be a little biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So, don't force yourself to write the way everyone wants you to write. It's not like you have to keep worrying about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good.
Well, that's because I have to sound confident.
Fake it till you make it, sister.
Exactly. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know?
I see. Well, let's read it then.
Hole in the wall.
Let me know when you need. Okay, yeah, I can scroll.
It couldn't have been me. See, the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No! I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. Just a little hole. It wasn't bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in.
Damn! Damn! That was good.
So, what did he think?
It's very freeform, if that's what you'd call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback.
It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful.
What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, I'm not sure how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of, epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany?
Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain just gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy up for later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big, dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. I mean, that's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. So wholesome.
Yes, how about Sayori?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the poem's for Yuri, so I might as well do it last.
Yeah.
This is a good poem, Frederick Vampa. Are you sure this is your first time?
I'm actually really excited to see what her poem is.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time?
I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really part of the club now. That's you.
No, not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room? Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See? It's like I said before, Frederick Vampa. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do.
Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all.
Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure that you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you.
Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then.
Yay! Now, you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. That's how they all say.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say.
We'll see about that.
I guess I should read this too.
Go for it.
Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast.
That's such a mood.
Mm-hmm.
Sayori. This is just a guess, but... Did you wait until this morning to write this?
No! Just a little bit.
You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question.
I forgot to do it last night.
You're the vice president. Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself.
Don't be mean. I still tried my best.
Yeah, her word, there's nothing unusual about how she speaks. Okay, go. Yeah.
Or I don't know, just her behavior and everything. And even like the poem that she wrote.
Okay. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice. Or how should I put it? It sounds just like you.
Really?
Yeah. Especially that last line.
I made eggs and toast!
Even though you were late to school?
It's bad to skip breakfast. Get all cranky.
Angry, I feel. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me.
This was so much fun. Monica's the best.
Yeah.
But next time I won't forget. And I'm going to write the best poem ever!
Well, I guess I look forward to it. Okay, Yuri. Thoughts. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words of the poems as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most notable thing that I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that is not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into simple writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it'll all come with practice, and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. That Suki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about other people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ooh, I like the title.
Yeah.
Ghost Under the Light. Do you want to read her?
I think since you're voicing her, do you want to?
Okay. Should I do her voice or no?
I mean, I haven't been doing the voices for the poems, so I don't know.
That's fair, okay. ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. Light flickers. I flicker back. Dots. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I don't read script very often, which is true for me. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Frederick Von Pa. Really? I must have totally missed that point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the person is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Frederick Von Pa. Me too. Aw. Phew. I guess that's everyone. Yeah, what a big club.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so pretty. Sorry. Such a nice time of day.
Oh,
I love like
sunset?
Yeah, I was gonna say like I love seeing like the pink on the mountains and like reflecting off of the city. Sorry, I just like looked over and I was like, yes.
You have such a nice view.
That's one thing I do like about this place a lot. And if you climb the roof, like the very top, even though it feels like you shouldn't, because you probably shouldn't, it has a nicer view.
Wait, do you want to do that?
It's snowy, but yeah. It might be icy, but we can check.
Yo, we should do that after this.
Dude, yes.
I'm so excited. Okay.
I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. They keep saying that, and I'm like, no, what is it? I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change.
I feel like they're enemies. Or not enemies, but like...
Oh, they're very like night
opposites.
and day.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like she seems very like, oh, this is so cute, hee hee. And she's just kind of like, we're all ghosts inside, represented by our deepest desire. I don't know, yeah.
Exactly.
Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this? Oh, sorry, that's you. Shit.
Oh, what's with this language?
Did you say something?
Oh, it's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand.
I guess you could say it's fancy.
Thanks. Yours is cute.
Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up.
Hold on, what was it?
It was like the
Sunshine?
birds.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wait.
It was the bird can fly, the tiger can.
Oh yeah, and then it was the humans can do nothing.
Yeah,
basically,
humans can
yeah.
cry and fail. How can that be cute?
I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice.
Eh?
Keyword trying.
You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say?
Just different writing styles, girls.
Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Damn, that's gonna be savage.
Well, I do have a couple of suggestions.
If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it. And Frederick Vampa did as well. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own.
Yeah, half the club liked it.
First of all...
Excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Frederick Vampa liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it.
Oh, Natsuki suddenly stands up.
Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri.
Oh, why is she being such a bitch? She was trying to impress me too.
That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Frederick Von Pa appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours.
Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself?
No.
Jesus,
If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy.
Fuck yeah, clap that girl! Honestly, I'm on Yuri's side for this. Like, Natsuki was unfairly attacking her.
Right? Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Frederick Von Pa started showing up.
Did they? I did not notice if there was like an animation.
Natsuki?
Natsuki, that's a little...
This
doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting guys.
Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Frederick Von Pa. She's just trying to make me look bad.
That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place.
Not necessarily more effective.
Yeah.
Just depends on the message and how
But real
it's
talk
conveyed.
though, yeah. But real talk though, I do like her style more. Like the simple.
I really liked both of them, honestly. Like, hers really kind of did catch me, like, off guard, because it's like, I noticed that it was rhyming a lot, and then with the last line, it did make it stand out and did emphasize the point. But I also, like, really like the imagery of Yuri's, and just kind of like the meaning behind it as well. I don't know, I really liked both of theirs, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Like, those two were probably my favorites.
I don't know. I think my writing style is more like Natsuki's, so I guess I'm a bit biased.
That's fair, yeah. I mean, my thing is I haven't really written poetry, but I do really like, I don't know, I really liked both of theirs.
Yeah. The poems in this were written really well. I
They
think.
were.
Yeah. Anyways, the meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out.
See, I mean, for me, I'm like, it's nice if it jumps out, but I also like pondering things.
Yeah.
Like, I like to be philosophical. I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just hate, like, open-ended things where it's like, it doesn't, like, give you a solid answer, where it's like, if something implies something, okay, but, like, when a movie ending is like, it's up to interpretation, I'm like, no.
Inception.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Help me explain that to her, Frederick von Pa.
Yes, it is me, Frederick von Pa. Can I change my... Actually,
Please
no.
Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. I mean, they're both right in their own ways. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Frederick von Pa?
Well?
How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. Of course, that's all. The problem is I agree with both of them in a way. Like,
Yeah.
they're wrong to attack each other. It's like, they just have different writing styles, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, they both, in my opinion, convey thoughts and feelings well.
Right. I'm gonna need a Tim Tam break.
Go for it. I'm gonna turn on the lights real quick.
Go for it.
Ugh, if I can get out of my chair. Oh my god. Oh my god.
The struggle is real.